Welcome to Ingrid and Chris. Tonight, we're going on a magical journey with Benny the Bunny and his friends to the Enchanted Meadow. Get cozy and let's begin. It was a warm afternoon and Benny the Bunny was bouncing through the meadow near his home. The sun shone brightly and the flowers in the meadow swayed gently in the breeze. But today, something was different. The flowers weren't just swaying, they were glowing with soft golden light, and there was a faint, gentle humming in the air, almost like a song. That's strange, Benny thought, twitching his nose. The meadow has never looked like this before. Benny hopped closer to the flowers. The golden glow became brighter, and the soft humming turned into a sweet lullaby. He tilted his head and listened carefully. "Where is that sound coming from?" Benny whispered to himself. "I need to tell my friends." Without wasting another moment, Benny hopped as fast as he could to find Ella the elephant, Max the monkey, and Lila the ladybug. When he arrived, Benny could hardly contain his excitement. "You have to come to the meadow with me. Something magical is happening." Ella flapped her big ears and smiled. "What do you mean, Benny?" "The flowers are glowing and the meadow is singing," Benny said, bouncing up and down. "You have to see it." Max swung down from a tree branch, curiosity shining in his eyes. "A singing meadow! This I've got to see." Lila buzzed her tiny wings. "Let's go! I want to hear the meadow's song." Together, the friends followed Benny to the meadow. As soon as they arrived, they gasped in amazement. The meadow was bathed in a soft golden glow, and the flowers seemed to twinkle as they swayed to the gentle music that filled the air. "This is incredible," Max said, his eyes wide with wonder. Ella nodded slowly. "It feels like the meadow is alive." Lila fluttered over a flower, her wings shimmering in the golden light. "Where is the magic coming from?" Benny bounced closer to the glowing flowers. "Maybe there's a hidden secret in the meadow. Let's explore and find out." The friends began to wander through the glowing meadow, taking in the soft lights and sweet music. As they moved deeper into the meadow, the glowing lights above the flowers became more visible. Tiny, shimmering specks floating in the air like stars. "Look at those lights!" Lila exclaimed. "They're floating like fireflies." Max reached out to touch one of the lights. "They feel soft, like a warm breeze." Ella smiled. "The meadow must be enchanted. But why? What's causing all this magic?" The friends continued exploring, admiring the beauty of the glowing meadow. The flowers sparkled, and the music seemed to grow sweeter the further they walked. Suddenly, Benny's ears twitched. "Do you hear that?" Benny asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "What is it?" Ella asked, her big ears perked up. "I hear whispers," Benny said. "Like the flowers are trying to tell us something." Max tilted his head. "I think I hear it too. It's like the meadow is talking." Lila fluttered down next to Benny. "Maybe the meadow has a message for us. Let's follow the whispers." The friends followed the soft, mysterious whispers through the meadow. As they walked, the whispers grew louder, guiding them deeper into the enchanted field. They passed sparkling streams, glowing bushes, and more tiny lights until they reached the heart of the meadow. In the center of the meadow, they found something extraordinary, a large, shimmering flower tree. Its branches were covered in glowing blossoms, and hanging from the center of the tree was a glowing crystal that sparkled like a star. "What is that?" Benny asked, hopping closer to the tree. Ella's eyes widened in awe. "It must be the source of the magic." Lila hovered near the crystal. "It's so beautiful. Should we touch it? Benny hesitated. I don't know. What if it's too powerful? Before they could decide, they heard a soft, gentle voice. Welcome, friends. The group looked around but couldn't see where the voice was coming from. Then, from behind the shimmering tree, a glowing figure appeared. It was the guardian of the meadow, a magical creature who watched over the enchanted field. You found the heart of the meadow, the guardian said kindly. The crystal you see is the source of the meadow's magic. It brings life, light, and music to this place. Ella stepped forward cautiously. Is it safe to touch the crystal? The guardian smiled gently. Yes, but only those who come with kind hearts can unlock its true magic. The power of the meadow is not just in the crystal, but in the love and friendship you share. Benny took a deep breath and stepped forward. He reached out and touched the crystal with a soft paw, and immediately the crystal began to glow even brighter. The flowers around the tree lit up like stars, and the music in the air became a beautiful, magical melody. You've unlocked the true magic of the meadow, the guardian said. Now, the meadow will always bloom with light and song as long as you and your friends hold the magic of friendship in your hearts. The friends smiled at each other, their hearts filled with joy. They had discovered the magic of the meadow together, and now they would always carry its beauty with them. But the adventure wasn't over yet. The guardian looked down at them and said, There is one more secret the meadow holds. Would you like to see it? Max's eyes sparkled with excitement. There's more? Yes, please. The guardian waved her hand, and the ground beneath the flower tree began to shimmer. A glowing path appeared, leading further into the meadow. This path will take you to the Meadow of Dreams, the guardian said. It's a place where the dreams of all creatures come to life. The friends eagerly followed the glowing path. As they walked, the air around them became even more magical, and soon they found themselves in a dreamlike place filled with floating flowers, rainbow-colored rivers, and trees that sparkled like diamonds. This is the Meadow of Dreams, Benny whispered. It's more magical than I ever imagined. The friends stood in awe, gazing at the beauty around them. In the center of the meadow was a crystal-clear pool of water that shimmered with soft light. When they looked into the water, they saw their own reflections surrounded by twinkling stars. The magic of the meadow is all around you, the guardian said. As long as you keep its light in your hearts, the meadow will continue to bloom. The friends stayed in the Meadow of Dreams until the sun began to set. Then they thanked the guardian and made their way back home, their hearts full of wonder and magic. The end. Thank you for joining us on today's adventure. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Ingrid and Chris for more magical bedtime stories and fun adventures. Hit the bell so you don't miss our next story. Good night and see you soon!